Hey y'all, Backwoods Modeler here. Just want to check with you and show you what I got going here. Got some updates and some other things that I'm working on. Clearly, you can see this new barn that I'm building. I'm building. Um, First of all, let's start off with this Kings of Crunch that I showed a few days ago. It was a Kings of Crunch monster truck. I think it was Maiden America or something like that. Had a big gold chassis, monster truck tires, and this, that, and the other. Well, since I've dropped it, I think it looks a lot better like that. Looks like it should have came from the factory. On the package, it says this thing's a 77. Anybody knows Chevrolets? That's clearly an 86. 85, 86. I believe it's more of an 86. Anyway, you can see, without losing the bottom of it here, put mirrors on it. Those didn't come with it. Those don't look stock, but they're close to what would have been stock. I actually stole these off of that Dodge Dually with the service bed on it. One thing I was finally able to steal off of that thing. Then for the axles, I just used the brass axle shaft, put in there, glued it to the bottom of the truck. That's just on there with a little bit of seal-all. I still need to paint that. Doesn't look real good there, but once it's painted, you won't really notice it too much. And then I went a step further. In the 80s, they like to color match everything. So I painted the interior blue to match. Oh, that's not going to focus. Did the interior, did the chrome stripe and the chrome in the center of the steering wheel. Chrome door handles. So this thing's going to look pretty good once it's back together. And then I also stole a trailer hitch off of that Dodge. I had to modify it a little bit so it'll fit under the back of this truck. But then that'll have that. And this truck should have came like this. Greenlight should pay me. So those wheels, this is the better side. Those wheels came from a Greenlight tire package, the BF Goodrich series. The rims were black. I just popped the wheels off of them, painted them aluminum, just because I'm not a big blacked out fan. I think this truck's going to look pretty good when it's completely finished, but it looks pretty sweet, just like it is. And then an update on my GMC Service Body. You can see I've got it pretty much put together. I got to do some finishing touches. I decided to leave that gap since it turned out to be a lot smaller than I expected it to be. Now I got to figure out how to hide most of it. I was planning on putting stacks on the side of it there, but then it's not going to look right. It's going to cover the door handle, and if I go a smaller gauge pipe, smaller size pipe, it's going to look stupid. And then these, I said, she's just about set up. And I'm going to put a few things in the back of it, some tools or something. Oh, I'm going to drop it and break it. There's a good look at that side. Sets up kind of high, but that's just the nature of the beast. I think it's going to look pretty good. That's original. Then I had to make a little trip up to New York a little ways back. And I found another King of Crunch while I was gone in a truck stop, no doubt. Tumbleweed. I brought that home, and as soon as I pulled it out of the package, it literally fell apart. I'm not trying to knock on Greenlight, but you know, that's 2 or 3 trucks I bought in the last couple months. They weren't packaged very well. This one, it's not glued together either. I've got it all popped apart. This one doesn't look as good as the other one because the tires aren't as big. I need bigger tires for it, but this is all I had for it at the moment. I'm going to take that tumbleweed off of there. I don't think I like that. But I like that truck. They did a real nice job on this truck. I think my rack is a little crooked. I didn't notice that till I should have looked at it on camera. Maybe I'm crooked. So, now we're back to the barn. This barn I'm building for a diorama setup that I'm going to do. Took a little while to build. I've been working on it for a few days. This is the office part of it. I still got to finish it. It's kind of rude. You know, don't worry about the unevenness around the windows. Once I put the framing around there, you'll never notice that. That's the good thing about putting framing, doing a trim. You can hide your imperfections. You see I did the side. I'm still working on this side. I got a little gap here I need to fill. Got to trim that piece off. It sticks over a little bit. And I got to do some reinforcing in here because you can see this, it kind of does one of these numbers. So I'll run some reinforcing in here, which won't matter. Once I put a roof on this, you're not going to see any of that anyway. And then this just has a pop-in roof. Just a whole piece of cardboard. Thick wall, thick gauge cardboard. Right about I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch. You can see I got my motor home in here, and I got my rollback, or my flat gooseneck trailer in here. And I got it set up to where it just barely clears. This is the biggest piece of equipment I got, and it just barely clears the roof. The motor home, when it comes out, just the mirrors barely clear. That makes sense because garages we have at work, our dump trucks, the mirrors barely clear the edges of the door, so I'm happy with that. Door's a little high, but that's just because of this, but it's all right. But anyway, I started out with just a cardboard box. I just so happened to find a box that was real thin gauge cardboard. I mean, it just a little thicker than paper. And then luckily the box was just the perfect size. So I just did it popsicle sticks, craft sticks, whatever you want to call them. I bought a couple boxes of those a long time ago. And then I cut all the doors out, and you can see I trimmed it all out so you can't see any uneven edges. I even framed in around the top and the sides so you can't actually see the cardboard. All looks like framing. I'm going to paint the walls. You really won't notice that after they're painted, and I get some stuff put in there. But then these bracings that I have around all 4 sides, that gives this thing some rigidity. This thing doesn't rock anymore. It's not as flimsy as the other one is. Once I get that one sturdied up, it'll be like this too. It'll be just like a good rigid box. So you just glue your popsicle sticks to that, cut them to the size. Then I trimmed it out with some wood that I got from Hobby Lobby. That's what I did the trimming with. The edge banding, I even did the edge banding across the top of the roof here so to hide the cardboard. And I trimmed the top of the roof out. But yeah, that's how I did it. That's the easiest way to do it. If you got any questions, I can show you how to do it. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to get this finished up, and then I'll show you where we're at there. Y'all have a good day.